trying to make sure everyone got a nice welcome today, Chair Carter asked if I would take on that role and throw a funny or interesting question into the mix. So thanks a lot for participating.
And thank you. That was her suggestion. I thought it was a bright idea and breaks the ice. Breaks the ice. Okay, so is Madam Clerk here? Is that clerk here?
Yes, I'm here, Chair. How are you?
I am fine. All right, so it is 12:02 and we're going to start our meeting. Today is Thursday, April the 14th, and it is again 12:02. We'd like to start with the roll call, please.
Member Winton,
Here.
Member Tinsley Smith, Member Talley,
I'm here.
Member Starr,
Here.
Member Shield,
Here.
Member Randall,
Dr. Regina Randall is present.
Member Luckman,
Present.
Member Lanto,
Here.
Member Joyner has requested an excuse, Member Hughes,
Here.
Member Gator,
Present.
Member Garcia, Member English Barnhill, Member Douglas,
Present.
Member Daub,
Here.
Member Crawford has requested an excuse, Member Cash, Vice Chair Roberts,
Here.
Chair Carter.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, we will now proceed to approve the approval of the March 10, 2022 meeting minutes.
Move for approval, Member Dobb.
Support.
Support, Member Gator.
Are there any objections? All in favor, say aye.
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 Sorry about that, I was a little backwards. Any abstentions? All right. All right, so I'll make a few comments here and then the clerk will step back and let you call up the item numbers as we move along in the All right, so first of all, just wanted to say that we had a great month. We had a great Women's Month. It was a quite exciting to participate in the audience at our first official event, so to speak, that the mental health committee put on an event, and I'll tell you more about it later on, but I just want to congratulate you and getting us started on our way. It's a great job. We also were invited to attend the Michigan Women's Commission's meeting on yesterday, and just myself and Latanya Gator was present, and also the Honorable Edna Bell was stood in on behalf of our chair of the Wayne County Commission. And it was just a wealth of information. You guys really missed a treat. We are at Bass Blue, newly open facility for women only, basically, most hours. And then there's certain hours it's just for the general public, but it's in a historical location over on Ferry Street in Midtown. We all should get over there sometime. but it was really refreshing to kind of see how they run things. It was just actually a wealth of information they provided. They asked us about how we were doing, and we're going to speak more in the future about how we can work together and collaborate so that we can avoid duplicating processes or information or resources where we don't need to. And they're in Lansing, quite frankly, and they have their hands on the pulse of what's happening, where the resources are coming from, many of the stats. So if you ever have an opportunity in the future to join the State of Michigan's Women's Committee, please do so. We can move to the next item.
Item D, remarks from Wayne County Commission Chair Alicia Bell.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today?
Good.
To see everyone. Great to see everyone. As Chair Carter indicated, March was a wonderful Women's History Month. Of course, we did our resolution at the Wayne County Commission level, and I'm just so proud of the mental health symposium that you all put on. I stayed for the whole event and it was awesome. So thank you all, the Member Gator and the entire committee, for putting that on. It was great. Just to let you know, I did purchase the gift cards for the speakers, and those are in the mail. So they have $50 each gift cards to Bath and Body Works. So we can always find something great at Bath and Body Works. So they'll want to thank them for taking time out of their schedules to participate. So that was awesome. Again, congratulations. And also a special shout out to Member Gator for the Dearborn Heights Women's History Month, which was awesome as well. She invited me to be the keynote speaker, and it was a really, really great event. So hats off to you, Member Gator, thank you for inviting me, and this hats off for a great event. It was awesome. And Chair Carter was able to attend as well. So it was fantastic. My only other remark is that June, you will have your elections. So we're going to do something similar as we did last year for the first year. Those persons who are interested in whatever office they would be interested in, please send your resume, bio, or letter of interest to the clerk, and then she will collect them all, send them out to everyone to see who's interested. Let's try to have all of those in by your May meeting. So all of those are in by your May meeting, and then you can peruse those for the next 30 days after that, and then vote at your June meeting. We're going to try to get technologically savvy and be able to institute a poll. I've been on several meetings and different boards where they can do a poll, and everyone's name will be there, and you just vote from your device, either your laptop or your phone. So that'll be what we'll attempt to do to vote for the officers in June. So again, thank you for all of your great work. We're almost to a year, and it's been a great year. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule to embark upon this first Wayne County Commission, Women's Commission, first year down, and many, many more years to come. So thank you all. And if you ever need any questions, any comments, any feedback from me, please feel free. I have an open door policy, and I look forward to the work that you all will continue to do. So thank you, and have a great meeting.
Vice Chair Roberts, you had your hand up. You have a comment?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
ahead.
thank you so much. Just a clarifying question regarding the election being held in June. So our bylaws read that the election would take place the first meeting after April 15th. So I read that as the first meeting after April 15th would be May.
So Johnson, are you on the line? I see your name, but she might.
I am. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. So yes, so the bylaws do indicate that the officers will be elected. The first meeting, I think it say, will be held May 15th, April, after that April meeting, which we did attempt to do the first year. However, it also indicates the officers will be elected for a one-year term. The officers were elected in June, and therefore we will re-elect them after their one-year term in June.
I thought that we were elected in May.
The clerk told me June, and I can pull up her email to confirm that, but I did inquire last week to have her check the records. I don't know if she's on the line, but she told me it was in June. So that's where we got the June date from.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're in compliance with our bylaws. That's all.
If anything changes and we can make sure the clerk triple checks that while we're meeting right now. Council Johnson will come back on, but right now that is, because we've discussed this as well. And so that's where we are right now for June. But I think if we go back, like I said, triple check those dates, and if they're different, we'll certainly chime back in.
Great, thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right. All right. All right, so speaking of our bylaws, I received several emails. One from our attorney representative, Alicia Johnson, and one from Wayne County Commissioner, Chair Alicia Bell, and then one other person who identified herself as an assistant attorney to Wayne County Commissioners. And we were a little taken aback by the request for annual report, because initially we were told we needed one, then we were told we didn't need one because we had only been in operation for 8 months. At any rate, I put one together and it's still in draft form. Did get some comments from the assistant attorney. However, I will request that if she would address this body, what her thoughts are, and particularly about our mission statement. I know we are all, the commission is new and there's things that we're discovering along the way. And I just wanted to be in compliance, so I did complete that. And basically, it's just a recap of the things that we've done only up until December, because this is only reflective of the 2021 activities. And there will be a second one that will be done for the following year. So, and before, I'm just a little uncomfortable with presenting that before we can verify if all of Wayne County are in agreement with whether or not we truly need an annual report. If someone can address that, that would be great.
So this is Felicia, the attorney. I'm not sure who told you a report was not needed. It does require an annual report, which means this body was technically in existence for a year. We anticipated having an annual report every year. And while we understand that you have not quite made 12 months, that does not negate the fact that the requirement indicates an annual report, and you can still update the commission with regards to your initial 8 or 9 months. So that was the request. I have not been informed by anyone, nor has anyone contacted me with regards to saying that one was not required. Obviously, we're open to have that discussion further, but I wasn't aware that you were told that one was not required.
Vice President, Vice Chair Roberts, can you also make a comment on that statement, or if you have any information?
Yeah, I think it's the same as you, Vice Chair. I had the same inquiry if we in fact needed to do one because it wasn't a full year. They indicated we did. I provided comments, which I shared with you, and I believe Amina and Chair Bell. And as to the issue of the mission statement, we included in that report, I think you included it, Chair Bell, the mission statement that was passed by our Women's Commission, which I do believe is in compliance with the ordinance. So however I can be helpful in moving it forward, I don't think it's a bad thing to present a report for the first 8 months. I think we did some really good work and just foundational work of getting organized and structured, and really set the foundation for having a good year this year.
And what I would suggest, and Felicia, you can direct me, there's nothing stating that we can't amend the bylaws to do an annual report at the end of the year. Because all it's going to do is go to government operations, who your member Dobb is the chair of, is just a report just to indicate for, decades from now that the Women's Commission were in existence. These are the things that they did, period. I mean, it's not rocket science. So I would suggest that if possible, we change the bylaw so that it's due in June. So that would be a full year. And then it can incorporate those wonderful things that we did in March and whatever wonderful things are going to happen within the 12-month time frame. So that would be my recommendation. Again, council, you can let me know if that's appropriate or not.
I would have to go back to the bylaws. I believe that the members were actually even though the officers were elected in June, I believe the board members were appointed in April. So I believe April would have given them an entire year. So maybe it would be due in June to give them an opportunity to wrap up the year. But that then could have a change of chair and other implications. I'm not sure. But we can definitely look at that date offline to see if it would be easier to change that to accommodate the concerns. I'll also state that while there was a comment and question related to the mission statement, the last email from my office regarding that was that because we agreed with the mission statement that was in there, and we were not in the end making recommended revisions to it. So from our perspective, we do not have concerns with the mission statement as set forth in the draft report, just to clarify that matter.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. That being said, I will report to this body that I did complete an annual report, and I am prepared to show that today. However, in submitting that today to this body, the process, from my understanding, is that your board should meet and review my annual report. So I want to get some clarity on that so that I can do that appropriately as well. So is the process today, present the annual report, since you guys says the only issue was the mission statement, and then you're not going to make a move on that. Is that to say that the board is met and I can move forward? Is that what I'm hearing?
You can present it if you like today. That's not a problem. If you want to present to members, and then again, after you present to members, if you want to do it today, if it's fine, that's quite all right. And then it'll be sent to the commission. So that's.
Has the board, the official board, if you will, of this body, review the annual report?
If you would like them to.
Well, the bylaws, I think, indicated that I was to submit the annual report to the board, and then the board would meet. And then, so just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Member Roberts?
Well, I would, if I may, so the bylaws and the ordinance actually requires the annual report. There isn't a specific process set forth specifically speaking to the annual report, but it's like any other item that this body would pass out. If you're going to submit an annual report, it would go to your board. Once everyone is in agreement with that, then you would submit it to the county commission for receiving and filing.
Well, thank you. Having said that, are there any more comments? Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Yeah, so based on the previous comments, it sounds like we are waiting to get clarification if in fact we need to submit this report ASAP, or if we want to amend the bylaws and submit it in June. So I guess I'm asking a clarifying question. Do we want to table this till our next meeting, till we get feedback of when it's actually going to be due, or do we want to move forward in terms of just reporting through December? It seems to me that we might want to put this on hold.
If I may, what I would suggest, and of course it's the last thing I'm gonna say, then I have to go. If I would suggest, since it's already done, share it with your members today, vote on it today, move it to the commission, make the bylaw change for next year. And then that will be the change for next year. So since it's already done, talk about it today, move it forward, and then that's how we should proceed. That's my suggestion. Now to stay out y'all's meeting. Okay.
And if I'll add to that so that it's clarity, it is actually the ordinance that requires the annual report, and the ordinance requires the annual report by January 30th. So I will get with Chairwoman Bell, because you are elected, and you'll be appointed, reappointed, I think every April, this board will, so you really don't start to April. So perhaps we'll look at changing that annual report back in the future to maybe June, like Chairwoman Bell has indicated. But it's actually the ordinance that's the underlining document that needs to ultimately be revised, because revising the bylaws won't help if the ordinance remains that. So we will work on that internally on the commission side to get that change made, so that it'll be in place for your next report.
Thank you very much. All right, so we will, at this time, I will share the screen and we'll take a review of our annual report that's been put together for the purposes of being in compliance. It's the annual report 2021, Wayne County Women's Commission. This was a marked draft due to the uncertainty of the mission statement having needed to be revised prior to this presentation to this body, as well as to the commission. Chair, Vice Chair Roberts has reviewed this annual report and has made comments, and I've incorporated things that she's provided, and we present this, and I'll try to read just maybe some highlights of it, and then I can provide each of the annual report. I do believe it says our board, when the Wayne County Ordinance 975 established a Wayne County Women's Commission. I need them. Wayne County Women's Commission Code Chapter 177 pursuant thereto. In May 2021, Wayne County Commission members began the work and has adopted the following in the first 8 months: the core values, the mission statement, the vision statement. I won't read those because we have those in our possession. They are the exact same thing that we have voted and agreed upon. From the Women's Commission Chair, I am honored to present our annual report, which includes objectives, activities, achievements of the inaugural body as we build teams and continue to deliver while in COVID-19 pandemic times. We are indeed grateful for the unprecedented commitment to respond to the needs of the women in Wayne County and that of Wayne County staff who have dedicated their efforts to the WCWC. To our commissioners, thank you for inspiring us. 19 volunteer members from diverse backgrounds were selected by 15 Wayne County commissioners to serve the Wayne County Women's Commission, with 4 members selected by Commissioner Chair Alicia R. Bell, are as follows. And this includes the entire list and the person or the commissioner that appointed them to the position. Our strategic highlights are: in April 2021, we convened first meeting virtually and established the process for electing the chair and the vice chair. In May, the full body elected myself, Carmen J. Carter, as inaugural chair and Sarah Roberts as vice chair. The chair and vice chair convened on several occasions prior to the WCWC June and July meetings to deliberate and move the Women's Commission forward in a direction to implement the duties as advisory body of the Wayne County Commission. We basically, I'm not going to read this whole part, but the protocol can be gleaned by listening to Wayne County meetings on YouTube. We are advised to review the bylaws and the ordinance and referring to the Robert Rules of Order, the online version, for guidance, as well as consulting with Wayne County liaison, who at that time, or is now Commissioner Dobb. In May, we passed the motion to meet monthly and selected COVID-19 the initial priority to address the ongoing negative impacts on the women in Wayne County. Wayne County Commissioner Chair Bell distributed a press release on June 10th, and the announcement appeared in several newspapers. The protocol can be, I'll skip over that. I just talked about that. Now, the full body submitted in areas of interest to support the foundational work. Ad hoc committees were established to complete the bylaws, the core values, mission statement, vision, and also a strategic facilitator or a work plan was also established. They met regularly, and we got the bylaws, core values, mission statement, vision was presented, and recommendations were completed, and we voted to adopt those recommendations in September of 2021. The strategic facility, the strategic facilitator work plan is in progress and scheduled to be completed calendar year 2022. We anticipate developing a multi-year plan to support and to guide the work of the WCWC. We had a meet and greet that was very successful at the Bahama Breeze. We have had two speakers to come, Cheryl Bergman and Commissioner Charity Dean. She's but they're both our Michigan Women's Commission members. We also had 3 speakers who were invited in October. We had Carol Osterberry from Wayne County Chief Public Health Officer, Jennifer Floyd, Wayne County Deputy Health Officer. She provided an overview of the response and handling of COVID-19 pandemic. Denise Ferrazzo, Chief Public Health Officer for the City of Detroit, provided an overview on the response and the handling of the pandemic. In November, the body voted and adopted 4 COVID-19 recovery committees: economics, housing, education, childcare, mental health, and physical health. Each of the 19 members were appointed or volunteered to participate on a committee. All of our members are a part of one of these committees, and some people were appointed to work on other committees simultaneously, and we wanted every member to have a place at all times with a standing recovery committee, or in this case, a recovery committee, but a committee, so that we can all be active and participatory in our progress. On December 17th, the meeting had its first only in-person meeting that allowed opting out to attend virtually. We met down at the Guardian building. And at that time, the overview of the committee's roles and responsibilities were distributed and emailed. The WCWC chair met with committee chairs to support the success of the committee work. The operational highlights include the women of WCWC. They are capable staff who are responsible for the work that has been completed, all of whom are working on the recovery committees, as I indicated, and we are anticipating an operational work plan to emanate from a strategic work planner or facilitator that will provide a more definitive, all-inclusive process based upon a Wayne County Commission strategic plan as set forth by the commissioners. The WCWC does not have a budget, and funds needed must carry a vote and shall be submitted by the chair to the Wayne County chair. And I put all our pictures here just for historical purposes. So when they look back 30 years from now, I probably won't be here, but at least we can see the women who are doing the work of our committee as members of the Wayne County Women's Commission. Are there any questions or comments, additions or deletions? This is the time to do it. We can make those changes and do whatever work is necessary to make this complete. So if I can get any feedback, that would be great.
Chair Carter, I just have a quick question.
Sure. Do I recognize?
Yeah, when this is finalized, we'll get a copy of this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
I had a question as well. This is Member Douglas.
You are recognized.
Oh, thank you. I just had a question. Should we be referring to ourselves as the board or members or commission? Does that matter, or in the top where it refers to as the board?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure if we're considered the board.
Right.
We are members and we are commissioners. We are volunteers. I think all those are can be synonymous,
Okay,
unless anyone wants to raise any questions.
Yeah.
About if
I
it
just
should be
felt-
something else.
Oh, yeah, I just felt that we should be referred to as commission since we were referred to as commission throughout the document. So,
Yeah, they are synonymous. I think they're interchangeable depending on the context and under which you're speaking. It may have an appropriate way as opposed to an inappropriate way of saying it. So go ahead, Member Douglas or Commissioner Douglas.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I have had certain members offline that was concerned about being commissioners or members with it all because they both are correct in my estimation.
Well, I was just thinking about consistency. That's the only point I was trying to make. I just
Okay.
wanted it to be consistent. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Well taken. I will make that effort to do that. Any other questions? Comments? Recommendations?
Chair Carter, I see Vice Chair Roberts' hand up and Dr. Randall.
I believe.
Go ahead, Dr. Randall.
Yeah, she was ahead of me.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is simply a definition, and the definition of commissioner is an appointed or elected member of a commission. That is the correct title for members of a commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dr. Randall. Go ahead, Vice Chair.
I just want to agree that I believe that for consistency, it's commission, and we are members of the commission.
Okay, all right. So at this point, go ahead. Commissioner Talley, do you have a comment or question?
No, I agree with the consistency too. Thank you, Member Douglas, for bringing that up because it can get confusing. Even though they're all the same method, it gets confusing as you're reading the document. Only because I've personally experienced this myself. So I think if we use the consistency of commission, it won't be confusing when anybody reads the document. So I'm just concurring with everybody else. Thank you, Chair Carter.
Accepted and well accepted. So I guess the next step here is there a motion to make those revisions and then make that submission to the Wayne County Commission?
I make the motion.
Member Gator
to
here.
make the correction. Oh, sorry. Go right ahead, Member Gator.
No, go right ahead. I'll support.
I make the motion to make the correction of the change from board to commission. And I'm looking for a second.
Support.
All right, thank you. Dr. Randall?
I would like to make an amendment to that motion that the members of this commission will be referred to as commissioners.
Okay, so it should read the top page should read the commissioners. Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the top page says, but Commissioner Gator, I'm pretty sure you're on the right track. I can't see the
I'm
top
Douglas.
page.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we go
Kim. Okay, I'm sorry.
Can we go to that page, please, so that we can all?
Okay, so,
Thank you.
okay, they just had it.
Yeah,
And
There you go.
okay, wait a minute, almost, can't see it now.
Yep.
Almost there. Okay, so yes, woo, I don't know what to say. I would just take the word member off and leave the name. And then anywhere else that we are referred to, we also should be referred to as commissioners. But for this particular document, if you just take the word member off, I'm satisfied with that. But from now on, I'm asking that we support that we're referred to as commissioners.
So should that be two motions or one? Because what I'm referring to is in the report. If
I have
if
my
you
hand.
bring the page, oh, I'm sorry. I can't see.
That's a
Yeah,
good
Go
question.
ahead, Attorney Hughes.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with us being called commissioners because it becomes confusing with regard to, you know, like we say, Wayne County Commissioners, Commissioner Bell. I mean, these people are appointed. I mean, members of this commission that is referred in the document, members of the commission, that's consistent with, that makes more sense in reading. We're members of this commission. This is a volunteer commission to be distinct from, obviously Wayne County Commissioners in that sense. And so I think members is fine. I don't see why we need to be referred to as commissioners. It's not to be distinct, we're volunteer. And so I think it's fine to keep as members. I don't really feel they should be changed from members to commissioners, if that makes sense to everyone.
Can I offer a point of clarification? So my motion is it's referring to the change.
Mhm.
If you can bring the page down a little bit where it says the board, where it refers to board. I'm asking that it's changed to
Okay, now, to
commission,
our board,
our commission. Yeah.
okay, let me explain
That is-
this. When I say to our board, there is a board for the women commissioner that's within Chair Bell's office. Am I correct?
No,
Isn't that who is
No.
the board that's to review this annual report according to the bylaws? No, go ahead, Vice Chair. Go ahead, Vice
No.
Chair.
no, this really should be to the Wayne County Commission. We write the report as the Women's Commission. We approve it to be submitted to the Wayne County Commission. And then, as Chair Bell said, they can review it and it's just filed. So it is to the Wayne County Commission.
Mm.
And I also just want to point out in the title, it says Women's Committee, and it should be Commission.
So. Okay, well, we'll get that straight off board and I will get it to you, Vice Chair, and then we'll get it straight and we'll submit it to this body. So they have a chance to review it before we get it to the commission in case we miss anything, that they have an opportunity. Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Just a point of clarification. And this is something that I think we need to work at. So Member Douglas had a motion on the floor that was supported. There should be discussion on that motion. Dr. Randall offered an amendment to that motion. There was no support for that amendment, and there shouldn't have been formal discussion on it. So I just think it's important that if someone puts a motion forward, we just need to follow the protocol and make sure that there's a vote on that motion. And if somebody offers an amendment, then we need to ask, is there support for that amendment? If there's not support, then we would not move forward on it. Does that make sense? I mean,
Well, that absolutely makes sense. However, this is discussion. I mean, somehow all of this is in one conversation and it shouldn't be, though it is connected to some degree. So let's finish our discussion and then we can get back to the original motion and see if that motion will carry, or if it needs revision or whatever we need to do.
Okay.
If we can do that, that will be, I believe, acceptable. Go ahead, Member Douglas.
So since I was the maker of the motion and it appears that the correction was made, I can't see the top again. So
I mean, this is a draft, so we're here today to discuss it and make it right. So,
Yeah, I
this is
understand.
not the final document now. That's why it's. Mhm.
Again, I just think that we need to,
I did make this one because.
right, and I did see that you made that correction in terms of to the board as opposed to the Wayne County Commission. But again, I think that we need to be consistent in referring to the Women's Commission as a commission. I understand that we are a volunteer group and that we were appointed by our respective commissioners. So I just wanted to make that clarification. So, but there is a motion on the floor.
Chair Carter, this is Tina Talley again. And I just want to add to that, whatever term we use, whether it's member, board, commissioner, whatever it is, it needs to be consistent throughout the document. I could care less, whatever term we use, I could care less. But whatever we use and decide on, it just needs to be consistent throughout the document. So there's no confusion to people who are reading the document. We pick whatever the term we is, member, chairperson, whatever, I mean, commissioner, whatever it is. Yeah, and we just stick with that throughout the document.
Okay, and we'll take a vote.
Can I make a suggestion if you don't mind?
Order, please, order. Let's go to Member Hughes, Member/Commissioner Hughes. Way I'm safe.
Yeah, way to cover all those bases. Yeah. So all I was trying to just do was I was responding actually just to I thought we had already, well, not already, but I thought we were deciding to, change off after hearing Dr. Randall's comment. So I just wanted to make sure, because she made the amendment, but since the amendment wasn't, I guess, approved yet, it was no need for the conversation afterwards, which I'm not sure, or I didn't realize the protocol. So my only suggestion was to the amendment, not to the actual motion, which I agree with. So like Member Talley stated, we do just need to be consistent. And I think the consistency with it being referred to as members is sufficient. And it seems so throughout the document. And the changes to that was suggested, I'm in support of. So that's the only thing I wanted to comment on regarding that. Thank you.
Okay, so germane to this discussion, it should be whether we're going to be member or commissioner. That's why the consistency part, that's clear. That's English. That's the way it should be done. That part we're not disputing. What we want to get clarity on is the references. So let's hear from Member Commissioner Douglas. Go ahead.
Okay, so the original motion was to refer to this body as Wayne.
You broke up.
Were you? The Wayne County Women's Commission, and to be consistent through the entire document. There are a number of things that I see with the document, but this was one that stood out in addressing the document to the Wayne County Commission.
Okay.
So
okay,
the motion was
not up for debate. Whether it goes to a board or whether it goes to the Wayne County Commission, that's not up for debate. That's in the bylaws. That's corrected. Let's move past that and let's get right to whether or not you're making a motion for whatever our references is going to be, whether it's going to be membership or a member or commissioner. If we can get that clarity one thing at a time, then we can move on.
okay. So again, I can't even remember what the motion was now.
Can I make a suggestion? Can I make a suggestion, please?
Yes, please, Madam Chair.
This is Alicia. May I suggest that if everyone is okay with the actual content of the report, if we can give it to our attorney to make sure that it is consistent with terms. If you're okay with the content, the draft will go to Attorney Felicia. She can make sure it's consistent with terms. It can come back in May and you all can vote on it at that time. And I'm sorry, she will send it out to all the members prior to May's meeting, so everyone can have a chance to look at it. Then vote at May's meeting in the interest of today's time. That's my suggestion.
And based on that, I would like to withdraw the motion so that it'll give us an opportunity to take a look at the document and review it.
And I rescind my support.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Moving right along.
There's a couple members, I think, that have comments.
I can't see their hands. Can you, Madam Clerk? Oh, go ahead, Member Roberts.
Okay. I don't know if we need a motion for this or if we potentially want to amend our bylaws, but I think it is very important that with this report, and I'm in agreement with Chair Bell, but for this report and any report in the future, that if the chair and vice chair are working on the initial draft, that it must be emailed out to all of the members who will then have the responsibility to read that report before the meeting to have a discussion. Because it is not fair to anybody to bring a report forward, try to work through it like this, and then potentially ask for a vote. It should be emailed in advance. Everyone's given the opportunity to review, then have a discussion before taking a vote. So I'm fully in support of Chair Bell's suggestion and ensuring that it gets out to all of the members. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Bell. And for the record, we are going to take the advice of Chair Bell so we can close that subject matter. We don't have to belabor that and keep going over it when we've already decided that it actually Chair Bell decided for us. So let's move forward to the next item. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Chair Carter, I believe that you have to stop screen sharing. Then I'll bring the agenda back up to screen.
Okay, thank you. I can stop sharing.
It should be next to the green icon. It should be in red.
Oh, I see it. All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah. And I'll bring my screen back up. Okay, we are now under item F1 under new business, update from ad hoc committees, update from the Strategic Planning Committee, Committee Chair Roberts and Vice Chair Tinsley Smith.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Well, we're definitely moving forward in terms of how we bring a facilitator in to help us develop a strategic plan. So a number of things have taken place since our last meeting, and I have been working and been in contact fairly closely with Chair Bell and with our committee. And Chair Bell had utilized a facilitator a while back and recommended that I reach out to this person because part of the organizational aspect here is using what we call vendors that are in the system for the county and for the Wayne County Commission. So I did reach out to that person and she's now living in New York and also way above our budget, but she provided 2 recommendations, 2 women who do professional facilitation that are here in the Wayne County area, and Chair Bell asked me to reach out to them. So I did do that. We have, and I think honestly, either one of them would do a wonderful job. And we also discussed, Chair Bell and with the committee, the idea of
Hey,
doing
Ms. Dorothy.
a day retreat. So what we are looking at right now is either May 14th or May 21st, which is a Saturday. We did not want to ask any of the members to have to take a day off of work. We are still in the process of what that day potentially would look like, but we're looking at potentially a 10 to 2 or a 10 to 4 p.m. We know that's a lot of time, but we think that it's really, really important for all of us to be able to get into a room together and really start talking about who we want to be as a commission, and building upon all the great work we've already been doing in almost a year now. But setting some goals, looking at our opportunities, looking at some of our challenges, and getting some things down so that we have a plan to work from. So we are currently in the process of identifying a location. So as of right now, on May 14th, the Guardian Building is available as a free space. The committee, we discussed, we have some concerns around parking availability with the Guardian Building, just because parking downtown can be expensive. So Member Lanto and Member Douglas and I have been reaching out to some alternative locations like Wayne County Community College. We reached out to Schoolcraft. I reached out to U of M Dearborn, and I've also reached out to Henry Ford College. So we are still waiting to get feedback on whether these are going to be good spaces or free spaces, available for us. But I hope that we can wrap that up this week, because we want to be able to get information to you as soon as possible about whether the 14th or the 21st, is a preferable date. We're hoping for 100% participation, but we understand that can be difficult and can be challenging with 19 members. Member Douglas, I really want to thank her. She has put time and energy into working with a caterer that is in, again, the county system, and Chair Bell had asked her to look into that. So we are working to make sure that we have some food during the day. And we are in the process of talking about creating an agenda for what that day would look like. And that is the update I have right now. And I guess what I would put out for a brief discussion is, one, if anybody does know of like a free location that would be great for us to get together and that has good parking. And if anyone wants to comment on whether the 14th or the 21st is a better date for them. Any discussion on that?
Are there any comments?
Okay, thank you.
I have one
Sorry, I
question.
couldn't raise my
Do you
hand
have
quick
the-
enough.
Go ahead.
Vice Chair Robert, sorry, I couldn't raise my hand quick enough. I am in support of May the 21st, just to say that.
Okay.
Thank you. And I think it's a fantastic idea, so I hope it gets approved, and I will definitely be in attendance.
Thank you. Just one challenge around that date is, as of right now, we have the Guardian Building for the 14th, and that's the only date that it's available. So if we don't find an alternative location, it probably will end up being the 14th. Unless, I don't want to postpone this into June. We could do that, but I really don't want to. But I see that Chair Bell has her hand raised. Would you like to jump in?
Chair Bell? Go
Hello,
ahead,
thank
Chair
you. No, I just wanted to say good job for the committee. I don't really believe in micromanaging really. So I would say that let the committee kind of work out the kinks.
Okay.
But and we can also communicate via email in between monthly meetings. But I just want to really ask everyone if they could avail themselves to attend, because if we don't have at least 75% participation, it would defeat the purpose. So whatever date is chosen, I hope it's a date, and we'll get feedback on maybe what people absolutely cannot do, so we can know how many people to expect. But I should hope that we would get at least 75%, if not 100% participation, in order for it to be beneficial to this group. That's all that I have.
Just as a follow-up to that real quickly, I will send out an email after this meeting and just have you reply if you cannot do the 14th or the 21st. Because I agree with Chair Bell. I mean, we have to have a certain number of us, right? Like if we're going to create this collaboratively and it's going to be our working document, you know, the beginnings of our strategic plan, we really need everyone, or as many of us as possible, to be a part of that process. It should be collaborative and a collective outcome.
Through the chair, Chair Carter, question for Sarah. Is this an all-day thing?
Yeah, it's going to be like we're looking at 10 to 4.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, right, 21st will not work for me that day, but yeah, I'll wait for your email to make my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's all I have. So thank you, Chair
Will there
Carter.
be any preparation? Is there any preparation that any of the members should have in play so that they're prepared to participate?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's really important, and I'll send a communication out about this as well, is just before coming to the retreat, having everyone reread the ordinance, read our bylaws, our mission, vision, and core values, because those are all fundamental in our direction, right? I mean, those are at the heart of what we are as the Wayne County Women's Commission.
Go ahead, Member Lugman.
If I just could make a suggestion, maybe sending out a doodle poll with the dates, just to kind of see which date we can get a higher turnout.
I do appreciate that. I mean, I can do that, but I think I can also just send out an email with 2 dates and let people respond. But thank you.
Okay. Are there any more comments? All right. So we'll look forward to seeing that email.
Chair Carter, we're moving forward.
Yes.
Item F2, report update from the COVID-19 Recovery Response Committees, Economics and Housing Committee, Committee Chair Hughes and Vice Chair Crawford.
Okay, well, first I want to make sure everyone is aware of Member Crawford, Summer Crawford, as she is taking some time away from the Women's Commission due to being involved in an auto accident several weeks ago. So she's recovering and she's on the way to healing. And she wanted me to, she okayed me to let you guys know that she's on her way to healing, and she just wants to take some time off to get better. And we just want to ask that the members pray for her healing, and for her to come back to the Women's Commission when she feels better. She believes that she'll be out at least a month. So we want to wish her well in her healing, and just want to make sure the commission knew about that. And so leading on from that, Summer was very instrumental in our housing portion of our committee due to her intense work with housing, volunteer work, working with the movers and shakers in the housing issue. So, and her time away is surely missed. She's surely missed. But what we're going to do is focus on what the upcoming monies in regards to the housing, what that all entails. And that's something that apparently just dropped in April. And we are trying to connect with some of the housing individuals who are over that money, who know about the monies that came from the federal government that dropped down in April. And so we're trying to focus on that, because anything in the past, unfortunately, is something that's it kind of is already taken run its course. So we want to focus on the monies that dropped April 1st. We will have more information about that in the next meeting as we connect to the connections, as we talk to the connections that Summer had, of course, and just trying to figure out what's going on with that most recent monies. So that's housing. And so, but we have focused on the economic side of our committee, which focuses on obviously women in economics. And so what I've done in the past couple of weeks is spoke to State Rep Pahutsky, who is of the Women's Caucus, Progressive Caucus. And last September, they put together a series of women's bills that supported equal pay for women, which is one of the key issues facing women in economics. When women are making suitable money in the house, when there's a two-family income, the economy is better, everything is better. So we want women working, and we want women to receive equal pay for doing the same work as a man. So we want equal pay. So that's the main focus of some of the bills that were introduced last September in the state. Also, there's a bill to prevent employers from refusing, to prevent employers from using your last income pay rate to deny you, negotiation of your current pay with, the employer you're interviewing with. Oftentimes, employers use your last pay rate to say, oh, we can only pay you, we just pay you a little bit more than what you got last time, with your last job. So it diminishes what a person interviewing, a woman interviewing can make. And so the bill that was introduced stops that question from being asked, what did you make in your last job? So, and so if that focuses again on equal pay for women. So that's a key issue facing women, and women being underrepresented overrepresented in certain areas and underrepresented in certain fields. And obviously, like one of the things that Rep. Pahutsky mentioned was skilled trades. A lot of women are not encouraged to go into skilled trades, and there are programs that are out there with the unions. I believe she mentioned the IBEW union. They have programs that focus on encouraging women to seek those trades. So we want to help support these two issues in the economic committee. That's what we're looking to support. In the upcoming weeks, we're going to look more into supporting such programs with potential resolution. For our committee, we want to put something together for that. That's one of the things she said what we could do is obviously do a resolution that shows that our committee supports equal pay and women being represented in other areas of occupation. So that's something we can work on, and also we can work on just supporting the unions, trades, skilled trades that focuses on women getting involved in those trades. So that's something we're working on down the line. I forgot. I also want to report on the fact that we were working on the resolution for the right to counsel for housing as well. We were looking for language, and because we want to be exact in our language in what we're presenting to the commissions, but we were able to find some comparable language, and so we will be putting that forth by next meeting so that the committee can vote on it, look at it, and make whatever changes that needs to be made. So that would be in the upcoming week given to Carter so that she can Chair Carter so that she can look at it, and obviously the committee would be looking at it so they could review and offer any suggestions, I'm sure, after Chair Carter presents it to be looked at and reviewed by the commission. So those are the things that we're working on in the upcoming for the upcoming meetings.
Well, thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Guys been busy. All right. Do we have any comments or feedback at all? If not, we can move to the next item in the interest of time. The next committee.
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
B, Education and Child Care Committee Chair Randall and Vice Chair Shields.
Good afternoon. It is certainly an honor to be with you today. I am Commissioner Regina Randall, Chair. We also have Commissioner Linda Shield, who is the Vice Chair, Commissioner Ryan English, and Commissioner Dr. Mary Starr. That makes up the Education Child Care Committee, and we are moving forward. We are going to adopt the National Education Foundation classes for 6th grade through 12th. We are also going to partner with 313 Reads. That will cover our elementary students. Our next steps are to develop a rubric for how we select our school district and the schools within that selected district. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve, Madam Chair. That completes the Education Child Care Committee report. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you for that update. We can move on. Madam Clerk.
C, Mental Health Committee, Committee Chair Gator and Vice Chair Garcia.
Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Commissioners. This is Latanya Gator, Chair of the Mental Health Subcommittee. We also have Vice Chair Garcia. We have our liaison, Commissioner Dobbs. We also have Commissioner Luckman on the line, and I'm not sure if Commissioner Lanto is here, but she's also a part of our committee. I definitely want to say the biggest thank you to this body for supporting our Mental Health Summit. Thank you so much, Commissioner Chair Bell, for attending and being the keynote speaker for the Dearborn Heights CCRC's Women's Luncheon. I just want to reassure this body that the feedback that we received from the participants that day, I believe it was in the mid 40s, maybe lower 50s at one point, was phenomenal. They really valued what the panelists had to offer. They definitely said they'll be taking that information to heart. They'll be using it for themselves and their families. And they also want us to reproduce it next year. Through the will of that body, I will be advocating strongly for that, if that is okay with everyone. I also want to just reassure this body that as a representative of Dearborn Heights in many hats right now, for Women's History Month, we didn't leave any stone unturned. We hosted a clothing drive for women. We hosted a fabulous luncheon that we worked really hard to put on. It was filled with women in our community from all different sectors, all different races. We had a full house full of elected officials. And so again, we thank everyone who could make it. If you could not make it at that time, again, I hope that we can have it next year, and I invite you all. Something else that we're working on the Mental Health Subcommittee that affects mental health greatly are the bills SB 597 and 598. So those bills will literally cut a significant amount of funding to community mental health agencies, often called CMHs. And there is a bill, and I forgot the representative who's really advocating for this bill, but it's to privatize Medicare funding. So as you ladies may be aware of, I don't know, but if that does happen, essentially community mental health agencies may be at risk of closing our doors. And I personally work for one of them. So that is a community, the population of people who benefit from mental health services greatly, as well as case management services, as well as juvenile justice services. So we're looking to create a resolution, and I received the support from the subcommittee to at least move forward with creating a resolution. And I'm sorry we don't have it ready for you all to review today, but I trust that Commissioner Dobb will lead us in the right direction. And I'm hoping at the next meeting, we can present that to you all to seek approval to move forward. We're also looking to create a petition through Move On. It's a nonpartisan group. They give you a framework to at least create a template to create a petition. And again, please forgive me, we haven't really fine-tooth combed it yet, but at the May meeting, we hope to present it and seek your approval. I'd be happy to take any questions. Hearing none, that completes the mental health report out, and thank you so much.
Moving on to D, Physical Health Committee, Committee Chair Joyner and Vice Chair Tinsley Smith. For the record, Chair Carter, members Joyner and Tinsley Smith are not present.
Is there anyone else here from that particular committee who have any comments they'd like to make at this time?
Through the chair, this is Member Douglas. Yes, I'm a member of the Physical Health Committee, and we are working on a number of things. We had a speaker to come in to speak to us regarding some physical health issues. And we understand that mental health and physical health can overlap at some points. Mental health can affect your physical being as well. And so we're looking into developing resources to provide to this body and to just the Wayne County residents as well. Once we get our program together, we will present that to this body for approval, but we're excited. You know, the Mental Health Committee has thrown down the gauntlet, and so we just want to further pursue that and just move this Women's Commission forward in supporting our Wayne County residents in physical health as well. So thank you for that opportunity, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that report. Sounds exciting.
Chair Carter,
Yes.
Member Gator here through the chair. I welcome the collaboration, Commissioner Douglas, and I will look forward to it.
Absolutely. I look forward to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you both.
Moving on to item G, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the commission.
Is there anything that anyone would like to share at this moment?
Yes, Chair Carter, Commissioner Gator here. Just wanted to say, as someone who attended the Michigan Women's Commission, we represented you all well, and thank you, Chair Carter, for giving out that report. We received great applause and great feedback on collaborative efforts we can take, and received good information on how we can continue to support the women of Michigan and by way of Wayne County. So again, I really had a good time attending that Women's Commission meeting. The next one I probably won't be able to attend because it's in like Battle Creek or something like that, but I am considering being a member of Bass Blue because it seems like they have a wonderful way to like promote women-owned business and self-care and anything you need to be the whole woman in our county. And I hope to get the opportunity to attend again.
Are there any other comments?
Actually, I had a comment, I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot, yeah, this is Member Hughes. I forgot to mention the Women's Economic Recovery Tour kickoff that we haven't, I guess, discussed since the meeting obviously was after our first meeting, our last meeting. So, and that was a very informative, just discussing the plans of what Michigan plans to do to help women and encourage the women in the economics to increase their equal pay, which is a clear issue that we're all on the same page regarding that, all the states and at the federal level as well. But it was interesting because Governor Whitmer introduced or discussed about a program that that can help with childcare. She indicated how there was a three-part program, I believe, that would divide up childcare between employer, the individual, and the state. So, you know, making it, you know, so that, you know, women don't have to stay home, obviously, to take care of the children because it's cheaper to do so. And they can actually, this program would help allow women to be able to get in that workforce because, again, when women work two households of income, the whole family is better. So it was just great to hear that program. I believe she said it's you know, it's out here in different counties. I can't remember the specifics, but just the fact that this program is out there and they're considering making it a, you know, statewide level is very encouraging for women. So I just wanted to make sure we, you know, just acknowledge that in the Women Economic Recovery Tour, if anyone attended.
Thank you for that comment. I did speak to Cheryl Bergman
Yeah.
of the Wayne County, of the Michigan Women's Commission, and she is putting together a flyer. And hopefully when we get that, we can share it so we can all take advantage of it and get it out to everyone we know, and just share it so that they can take it, all that need it can take advantage of it. It is a great program. And I'm excited about what that can do. It's working in other counties. And she did say that they were challenged with getting connected with other counties, and that they had efforts that were going to include trying to get it out more in the Detroit metro Wayne County area. So we look forward to, I will share that once you've shared it. So
Okay, great.
that's it. All right. Is there anything else anyone want to add? All right, we will
Sure.
send a special prayer. Go.
Chair Carter, Member Gator here again. Sorry, I just wanted to let you know that Cheryl Bergman asked me to send her the video of the Mental Health Summit, and I did that.
Thank you. Thank you. That video, make sure you guys, if you get a chance, go out on the Wayne County website and take a look at it. One thing I realized from that summit is that many of us, if not all of us, are in need for mental health care. It's very interesting presentation by all of the women who presented on that panel. And I'm looking forward to receiving their mental health resource book, so that we can share that information with women we know.
Chair Carter, and I'm sorry, Vice Chair Roberts, I see your hand raised, but I did send the mental health resource list that my subcommittee created. I sent it to you all, and I'd be happy to send it again.
Yes, if you can, that would be nice.
No problem.
Go ahead, Chair Roberts. Can't hear you.
Sorry. Just the conversation made me think that this is an opportunity, if we all have a chance, once Member Gator sends that video out, or again, we can go to the Wayne County website. We could share this on our social media feeds, on our Facebook, and just say, hey, this is a wonderful example of the work of the Wayne County Women's Commission, with more to come.
And to that point, I did live stream it on my Facebook page. So if you go to my Commissioner Melissa Daub Facebook page, if you can find that, it should be on there on the date we had it. I don't recall when that was exactly, but if you just want to share it from there, if that's easier.
I got your back, Commissioner Daub. It was on March the 31st.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
And it was also shared on my page as well, at Latanya Gator.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right. We can move right along, and Madam Clerk.
Item H, public comments. For the record, Chair Carter, we did not receive any email public comments.
Are there any public comments? This is the opportunity to make a comment, ask a question. You're welcome to do so. Are there any public comments? Last time, are there any public comments? Okay, hearing none. We can move to the next item.
Adjournment.
Move to adjourn, Member Daub.
Second.
Support, Member Gator.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 That opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you next month. Thank you for doing such a fabulous job.
Have a good afternoon.
You as well.